I eat off the pan because less dishes.
If you don't want to blow all your money on rent, then just live in your car. You can DIY tint your windows with tapestries. You can get a trifold to put in the back, put up some scarves, have this container that's for food, but it also serves as a place for me to cook. I also have another container down there. I also have a 5-gallon water, just to have water on hand, and a propane tank that allows me to cook. And if you can afford it, or if you can find something on Facebook Marketplace, an overhead storage is amazing for stuff that you don't want to have to carry with you inside of your car. I've been doing this for the last 5 years, and it's honestly not as hard as you think it is. It's actually really easy, and I have saved all my money from not paying someone else's mortgage, so this could be your sign.
This is what my life looks like right now, living in my car but still staying active. I wake up at 6:30 a.m. and this is my day up until around 1 p.m. My workouts have honestly been what keeps me going. It's the one part of my day I always look forward to. No matter what's going on, I know I'm going to show up for myself there. It gives me structure. It clears my mind. It reminds me I'm capable of producing results. And I've been really intentional about how I fuel my body too. Just making sure I'm getting my protein and the nutrients I need to recover. It might not look like much, but these little routines are what keep me grounded right now.
I'm Bella and I live in my Subaru. I'm gonna show you an evening routine when it's not raining outside. We just got done eating dinner. This is the current view. I'm gonna head to a second location where I know there's less people. Second location is much more quiet. I always hook Lila up to the car so that she can kind of just wander around. And here's the view. Gonna make a little cup of tea. Good old sleepy time. Little Miss comes over. There we go. I love it here. If you can't tell, it's just such a peaceful and beautiful place to spend the evening. Going to get ready for bed and then head to our sleep spot. Sticks down in there, honey. Sticks and grass up in here. What have you been eating? Moon looks really pretty. I tried to zoom in on it and it wasn't working. Every time I try to zoom in on the moon, there's something going on. The pajamas on, we're at the sleep location. It is in town. Kind of show you what it's like once I get the window coverings up. I'm just on the side of a residential road, like an industrial building over here. It just looks like a car that's parked. I even leave that on, but if you open the door, it is all lit up inside. If you made it to the end, leave a like and a comment. That always helps. And we'll see you guys next time. Mwah.
My name is Bobby, and I live in a minivan with my cat, and this is what a normal day off looks like for me. It was so nice being able to sleep in for a little bit this morning, but first thing is first, I make my bed and immediately put my hair up because it's always in my face. Turning on my lights is the next step, and then I brush my teeth. Nothing really exciting. I just bought this fake plant and put it in my van. Tell me what you guys think. I think it's so cute. After taking all of my window covers down, the first stop of the day is Planet Fitness. That's where I shower and use the bathroom in the mornings. And at this point, it's just part of my routine and honestly feels pretty normal. That shower is kind of what makes the day feels like it's actually starting. Planet Fitness is an amazing option for nomads and van lifers. It's like $25 a month for the Black Card, and you can shower anywhere there's Planet Fitness. After getting all ready, it's time to head out to Dead Horse State Park. I had nowhere I needed to be, so I figured I'd just spend the day out there. After putting Angel in her harness and getting her on her leash, I let her outside, and she absolutely loves to walk around and sniff things and definitely watch all of the birds out here. She used to be pretty shy about walking on the leash, and now she's an absolute natural. I take a moment to do my makeup, and then it's totally time for coffee. I absolutely love this little jet boil. It heats up water so super fast, and I just love it for dinners and hot drinks. Today was a cappuccino kind of day. I had never tried these before, and they're actually not bad. If you've ever tried this one or maybe a different flavor, let me know what you think of them all because I might have to try a different kind. I was feeling pretty lazy today, so it's finally time to put my shoes on and actually get to work. First things first, it was time to pull out my solar panel so that I can charge my Bluetti power bank for the day. Once that was set up, I pulled out my sewing machine and got to work on a new project. This part usually surprises people, but I make neck coolies, so I spent a good chunk of the day working on those. I cut them to size, sew them together inside out, flip them right side out, and finish them one by adding water crystals. It's honestly kind of relaxing, and I like having something to work on while I'm out here. I have to do something with my hands, or I feel like something is wrong. Now, these have not been listed in my shop yet, but I do plan on listing them very soon. I really just have to figure out how I want to take their pictures. Spending my afternoon doing this was honestly therapeutic. It felt so good to just relax and do what makes me happy and listen to some good music and let Angel outside to walk around and smell the smelly smells. After that, I decided I wanted to treat myself, so I went to the Crow and got myself a drink and their fried zucchini, which is honestly one of my favorite snacks in the valley. So if you have not tried their fried zucchini, go do it. And then for dinner, I just went to the grocery store and grabbed a deli sandwich and some tortilla chips. Super simple, but it does the job. Once it starts getting dark, I head to my spot for the night. I end up putting all my window covers back up, get everything settled, and finally just relax. I eat my chips, watch something on my tablet, and just kind of wind down for the night. And yeah, that's pretty much how I spent my day off. Nothing crazy, nothing dramatic, just a normal day off, living in my minivan. If you like content like this and want to see more, make sure you give me a follow, and thanks for watching. See you next time.
I feel so much safer in my van than in a house. And every time I have to sleep in a hotel, Airbnb, dorm, or anywhere else, I get anxiety. My van is so small that if someone is trying to get inside, I know immediately. But a house? A hotel? You don't know someone's inside until they're hovering over your bed with a knife. In a van, you can hop in the driver's seat and get away quickly. If I feel like I'm being watched, I can park somewhere else. I don't have to hope my neighbors are not creepy killers, and I certainly don't have to worry about someone else like a maintenance man having a key and letting themselves in. The sleep I get in my van is peaceful because I know I'm safe. When the window covers go up, I'm home. And I don't have nearly as much anxiety as I used to have when I lived in a house. And that's because I have more control over my environment.
So many people have asked me if I feel afraid while living in my car, and the answer is no. But you have to understand who I was before I was living this life. I was living a double life for about, 17 years. Corporate girl boss, high functioning person by day, and a heroin addict, junkie by night. The things that I did during active addiction, I look back on, and it's not just like a few instances here and there where I say, oh my God, how did I survive that? There are countless examples where I should not have survived. Countless. When I have faced like true danger, like true underbelly horrors of society, survived those situations. Living in my car registers really low on my danger meter. But to somebody that has not lived the life that I have lived, I can totally understand if this seems like something that is just too dangerous. I have yet to have an instance happen in this car that has scared me anywhere near anything that has happened to me in active addiction. It's just the life that I lived prior to this completely overshadows anything that could happen here. There's a reason why I do this and sleep soundly at night, because my nervous system would never register this as something to be afraid of after what I've been through.
This is a gathering of people who live in their vehicles, hundreds of them. They're not here because they failed. They're here because they figured something out. No rent, no mortgage, no landlord, no boss holding their survival hostage. They didn't drop out, they opted out. They own less, so the system controls less. And once you see communities like this, you realize this isn't homelessness. It's one of the most rebellious things you can do in America right now.
Yes, I'm homeless and I live in my car with my weenie dog. A lot of you were concerned for her in my last video, and I totally get it. Car living with a dog is so unconventional, but I cannot forget that dogs and humans go way back, sleeping in yurts together. I'm trying a new sleeping arrangement tonight, so I went ahead and took my passenger seat out, gave the floorboard a vacuum because gross, and then put in my air up mattress. Sushi for dinner and cuddles from Teeny to end the night.
If you are considering living in your vehicle, I would really look at what your climate is where you're living, what the attitude is towards people living in their vehicles and homelessness, what the police presence is and how they respond to things like that. And ask yourself, like, if the worst of conditions were there, like the hottest of days or the most humid of days, would you be comfortable being in your vehicle? I live in the Pacific Northwest. It's a very moderate climate. And so this is the perfect place to be doing something like this. What I do for work, I work in business development for a nonprofit. I left corporate America. Like, I had a corporate job for many years and had a mental breakdown because of it. It was a very good 6-figure plus job. And I worked 60 hours a week and my hair was falling out. I was having all kinds of health issues because of it. And so during COVID, I ended up leaving that job and taking some time off. And now I'm doing something that is far less stressful, but a huge pay cut, which is why I'm struggling financially, but I am more free. So do with that what you will. As far as your mental health stuff, if it is bad enough that you feel like you cannot be working, like you cannot work right now, I would file for short-term disability if that's something that you can do. I wish I had done that. I didn't do that. I literally just quit my job, pulled money out of my 401k, and went into like treatment where I could have some mental health help, because it was both substance abuse coupled with mental health issues. Done short-term disability, but I didn't. So that's something to explore. But definitely, think it through. I didn't think this through because I've been in really horrible positions, really the lowest of the low, and I pulled myself out of it. So I was like, this isn't going to be that bad. Fuck it. And I threw everything in storage and didn't tell anybody and just started living in my car. And it's worked out thus far. I am happier. To answer how I find places to park, so initially I was using iOverlander just to find, there's an app and a website where you can find safe parking in your area. But also, like, once you're doing this, like once you're in your car a lot, you start to notice, you like look around and you see signs in your county, in your area, places that you like to be that say like, 8-hour parking or whatever it is, or there's a place where there's no sign that says you can't have overnight parking, and you just try it out. Like I literally never had the cops knock and tell me I had to move. Actually, that's a lie. One time, and it was because I fell asleep at a lookout point that closes at like dusk. And I wasn't planning on sleeping there. I didn't have my window coverings up. I fell asleep in the back watching the sunset. So that's the only time. I've never had the police tell me to move. So just drive around You find places that are safe to park, and you like, as women, we have like vibes, right? Like the intuition. We can like feel a safe area. And it's always worked out for me. Any other questions, let me know.